Hey everyone, this is Olay from Laddering Your Success, and you're listening to the LYS Podcast.
Hey, thank you so much for coming for this first in-person set event. LYS event at said, I won't take too much time. So we started this, we've been going strong for about 6-7 years with Laddering Your Success. And it started from a great idea from Festus and a guy who was lost, transitioning from accounting to education, and it's turned into something really, really powerful. We've seen what we've done, this little thing that we started to turn into just so many different times. We've seen it just work itself out in amazing ways. We've been able to help a lot of young people, help a lot of teachers, help a lot of parents. And the fact that you're here says so much for us, because it shows that even from these small ideas, something really powerful and amazing can come from that. So thank you so much. If you can, just give yourself a round of applause. I appreciate y'all so much. So this is going to be once a month. We do our podcast every Sunday at 2 p.m. But once a month, we're going to do a live in-person session or interview or podcast here at the said Institute, where we will be talking with game changers, amazing people in their own right who are doing amazing things in the community, in education. And we're looking forward to the great group that comes with that. Before I introduce Dr. Adil, this is
yeah. So, and thank you all so much for coming and spending some time with us on this wonderful Sunday afternoon. A little bit about SAID, and then a little bit about just some housekeeping stuff for today. So SAID is a Pan-African library that got started in New York about 10 years ago, moved down to Houston about 4 years ago. And from that time that it's moved down here in Houston, it's really been central to just helping create community identity, talk about ideas. And so this is kind of where the collaboration with SAID came in, because us at Laddering Success, we're about leveraging technology to create lifelong learning. So, when you think about education, so often we just think about like, okay, go to school, check that box. And I think something has been lost because part of our personality as human beings is to be inquisitive and keep on learning. And so that's where this partnership came from with SAID. And so with that being said, there is an event that's going to happen here. So we're running for county commissioner of Fort Bend County at 3:00. So we're going to have to kind of wrap up as soon as we're done, because this is a community space. And so again, I'm very glad to have you all here. What we're going to do today, we're going to start off with an introduction of Dr. Adil and her accomplishments. And then we'll get right into questions. We have about 6-7 questions that we prepared in advance. After those questions, we're going to open it up to you all as community members, community leaders, people who, you have family members that are struggling with what are they going to do about their education and the economy, and those are the kind of ideas. Well, this is a great person to ask. And so that's what we're going to do here today. And then after we close out with that, usually we like to hang around and do a little bit more actual in-depth mentoring. But today, because of that other event, we're not going to be able to do that. Okay, so like I said, we'll give you guys a tour of the rest of the space. It'll be really brief after we're done. Okay, so are we good? Okay, so perfect. So I want to introduce Dr. Rima Adil. Now, she's the Dean of Student Success at Houston Community College Westchase campus, and also the incoming president to the Houston UN chapter. And so we thought, hey, what a better guest to have. You can't have a better guest for what we're trying to do, because obviously we have a global vision in what we're doing at Laddering Success. And so, there's a saying that you think global but act local. And so I believe she embodies that. And with International Women's Day coming up, she can talk a little bit about that. We wanted to really just highlight a woman who's making an impact in the community from just dynamic angles from the Indian community, the African community, and especially those here said, those who are in the diaspora. So with that being said, if we could give a nice little warm. Turn your phones to vibrate or silent. We greatly appreciate that. And with that, thank you for coming, Dr. Adil. Our first question for you is, tell us about your journey to Laddering Success. Like, what was college like? What was high school like? Like, how did it all start to get to where you are today?
Well, thank you so much for having me here. It's an absolute honor to be with you all. From what I see, Nigerian community is very vibrant in Houston. When it comes to their educational accomplishment, entrepreneurship, and community building, you all are off the charts. So great job. So I'm very happy to be here. As you mentioned, I'm a dean of the students at Houston Community College. In my journey, and we know in the Houston, in the city of Houston, a lot of people are immigrants. So I came to United States as I did my a couple of years of high school in New York. And then I moved here. And at that time, I didn't have a lot of resources to directly go to the university. So I started at the community college, at Houston Community College as a student. So there were a lot of challenges such as, English could be one, it could be on top of it. But being at the same time, cultural aspect of it, even though I was here a couple of years, changing the state and then fully incorporating the culture, it takes time. So I would say that I am speaking my best English today because every day I am learning. Every day I'm learning, and I am learning. And my success in this specific role or moving up the ladder was actually knowing the different communities and just kind of feel like when you know people closely in different communities, then you are aware of their challenges and you know where they're coming from. So the better you are doing, the more you're comfortable with it, the better you will get on it. So that's where, and there were a lot of mentors, as you mentioned, mentorship important. I would say formal, but informally. So letting people know around me, letting other leaders know, teachers know where you are going, what is my goal, what I want to do. Everyone won't provide the support at the same level. They will remember. And they'll try.
And that's so powerful, coming from an immigrant community and then impacting the immigrant community. That's huge. Shout out to HEC, because I think HEC has given a pathway to many in their journey to success. Oh yeah, of course.
Are you on to classes with us?
Oh yeah, the Gators. That's how I already know. Yeah. The Gators, right? No, that's UHD. I'm so sorry.
Eagles.
Eagles. Yeah, my bad.
Soar Eagles.
I went to many schools.
No, I'm not. He was retrained.
So yeah, with that being said, I mean, obviously, coming to Houston in that time, coming to the United States, you face many challenges. And I think there are some unique challenges that are facing students today. One of the major challenges is AI, right? Is this going to replace humans? Especially they got robots now, and so it's like, the rich people got money, are sick of us. But also economic challenges, right? In terms of even just paying for school. There's a statistic that we talk about on the foundation board that many students are one $400 emergency away from dropping out. Basically, they get one thing that costs them $400, they're not going to be able to pay their tuition and drop out. So could you kind of talk to us about those challenges that students face, and what are some of the things that HEC is doing, and particularly your campus is doing, around helping students solve those challenges?
Since you brought it, this is a very good question. When it comes to technology, let's just say artificial intelligence, I am a supporter of technology, and I believe that we should not be afraid. The more you integrate, there are things that are already started that board has said already.
Wow.
So we do not want to argue if we will do it or not do it. The better we do it, the better we learn the technology. It is just amazing. It's eye-opening how this technology, and as we speak, it is learning on just multiplying. It is getting smarter and smarter. So as an education institution, we have decided, and not just Houston Community College, throughout the state, to embrace it, including the students. We do talk to them, okay, you can use it to get your outline for the essay, you can use it to learn, but not to cheat, right?
Yeah.
So with that said, it does provide all kind of opportunities I usually say that, okay, we don't go to school just to learn, and everything cannot be learned in the classroom.
Yeah.
You self-learn and self-teach and self-explore
Yeah.
the opportunities that exist. Moving on to the other aspect of economic aspect, the two comments that I want to make about. First is there is so much money that the community raises itself to support the education. There's so many resources out there. Sometimes it's just a matter of going and exploring and getting it. One of the things that I have noticed, that even we have a foundation office, we do one application, and your name gets put in hundreds of scholarships wherever you are eligible. One application, not one application per scholarship. The students still don't do it because there's an essay that they need to write, right? So sometimes I jokingly tell a student, come to me, I'll write your essay, give me money.
You got the hustle going.
Give me the cut, but that's true, there are resources there. The other comment that I have in my experience that I do travel and do things in a policy-wise where we are headed. Last couple of years, the higher education here in the United States, especially public education, they have really improved. So all those extra courses that they were doing in the name of developmental and years of developmental education, it's no longer that way.
Wow.
And the focus right now, and the government and the state, they're making institutions accountable to provide the students with the credentials of value that they can compete without getting too much debt.
Okay.
So those are a couple of things that can help the students.
Hey LYS fam, it's Olay. Thanks so much for listening to LYS. I just wanted to take a quick moment to talk to the parents. That's right, mom and dad. Parents, prepare your child for their best educational fit after high school with our comprehensive LYS Parents Guidebook. Our helpful guide includes a range of activities designed to help you better understand your child's unique gifts and abilities. Additionally, we provide valuable insights into the student loan debt crisis and offer practical tips on how to avoid accumulating large amounts of debt. Our ebook also includes a wealth of information on scholarships, grants, and payment exemptions that can help guide your child towards a bright and successful future. With our expert guidance, you can rest assured that your child is well prepared to make informed decisions about their education and career path. Don't let your child's future be in jeopardy. Invest in their future today by downloading the LYS Parents Guidebook. Simply go to lys.com/parents to get your copy today. Now let's get back to the show because you know it's some good topics.
And I think that's very powerful as a way to prepare the next question. That's one of the things we teach is that in the being, knowing, doing process is to know what resources are available and how to use them. And so often, we will let something as small as an essay stop us from getting the financial resources we need in order to accomplish whatever we want to do in life. And it's also good to hear that from a policy level, and sometimes these things can get convoluted, that the state is really pushing the institutions to be held accountable because, for a lot of us, kind of the advice is given, hey, go to college, you'll figure it out when you get there. And then after that, you end up with a bunch of student loan debt and a degree you don't know how to use. And it feels like, the school keeps building campuses and get new computers. It's like, hey, y'all got my money over there. You know what I'm saying? So I appreciate the answer to the question.
Yeah, that's a good point. One quick thing about the funding. So recent years, this year, they are no longer funding institution based on bringing students in.
Oh.
So previously, however the formula was, we used to get per head counts, the number of students you bring in, you get funded for that. It's no longer that way. You can bring as many students you want as, if you don't want to bring, that is your choice, but the funding is now attached to completion.
Okay, that's so good.
So I tell my team, now we are going to have to work 4 times harder because if we just graduate every student, we do not have any students, so let's step up our game, bring more students, and also help them complete.
Wow, that's good.
You mentioned earlier about the scholarship, how students have opportunity to fill out a scholarship or to apply for a scholarship, but because of the essay, a lot of times they won't do it. And sometimes it's like, if only there was a resource out there where people could have the template for a winning essay already in it, and then you could just do that. Well, guess what? That's his name. We got that.
Didn't drop that commercial.
Right there. We got, the scholarship ebook that we made just to help students with that, where we break down all aspects of the scholarship. There's a winning scholarship essay within the ebook that helps you, you can just take it and put it in. And kudos to you for all that great work. What are some of those current issues that you're noticing with first generation non-traditional students that are coming into the college environment for the first time? It's kind of like you said in your story, getting used to culture, getting used to language, and things like that. Are some of those things the same? What are you noticing?
We have about 50% of our students, roughly, that we can identify as first generation students. And they could be first generation here, but the big aspect of that, the student body that we serve, we have non-traditional students you mentioned, older, younger student could be as young as 15-year-old, and older could be as old as 77-year-old. So the way they learn is different. The way they do things, the way they grew up, it's very different. And we understand the challenges for each step, every student, that there could, be different challenges. So the couple of things that, in my opinion, and we have seen the data too, in the very first semester, students who say they're coming with the goal of getting an associate degree or a credential, about 30% of students drop out in their very first semester.
Oh.
That is a nationwide. And then from the second semester, that same cohort is left. So this issue is not unique to UC Community College, but to all the organizations. And in my doctoral education, my thesis was retention of first year college students and finding ways to get them, that's where it came down to it. The sense of belonging is very, very important. And there are things that we do from our end. We have the student success course. That is an orientation kind of course. You have bonding with the students and then support them from there. But in addition to student success course, we have support services, academic advising. Day one, you get assigned an academic advisor, and they will be with you until graduation. Career services, job placement, student life, practice sports, counseling services, emotional, support, basic needs. All these services, they are designed to support our students. But one thing is that through navigating the system, a lot of the time students remain not knowledgeable that services exist. So for that we are launched orientation. And then I noticed that orientation, we cannot just front load everything and then forget about it for the rest of their journey. So starting this semester, we are now bringing them in, kind of doing the same and retouching on the same points to let them know we exist, we are here. So
I think that's huge. That, you can, as I say, you can lead a horse to water, but you can't make it drink. And sometimes when you kind of, as what you were mentioning before, have these different struggles of background and support and how people do things, it's very easy to forget, like, oh, they said they have a food pantry, or they said they have, counseling service, or they said they have this, because when it's not normal for your community to go to counseling, it's like, why would I remember the counselor? I don't know what that is. And so it's important, like you said, to kind of bring those reminders again and again. So,
So when I was in high school, I was very sneaky. I didn't pass a lot of my classes. I didn't leave a good example for my two younger brothers who were here. And so I remember the failure notice coming in the mailbox and me waiting at the mailbox and opening up and taking it, running away, hiding it. My parents, they were immigrants. They had no one better. And so I would hide all my the classes that I failed. I remember senior year, I was taking like sophomore level courses because I didn't do what I needed to do. I didn't have my parents knowing what I know, and so they weren't there to really put that emphasis on education. And even in high school, they kind of waned from just being on top of them. They're like, you're taking care of your brothers. He's as close to an adult as they come. He's figured it out. My nickname was Small Daddy. That was my nickname. Because I had to take care of my brothers. So, what advice do you have for parents of kids that are about to enter that post high school environment, whether it be trade school or college or anything like that?
I love the example how you started and kind of word your question, because that is the reality. And for me, knowing that, so when I came in as an immigrant, and our culture, we cannot tell parents they're wrong. That's right, okay? So yeah, it was very different. So for us, we should dress different, eat different kind of food, speak different language, smell different. My boundaries were different as everyone. So there was a lot. So like when you go and mingle and you see the word that is so diverse that we had not seen before, because we're kind of growing up in a box. It really changed the word. So, and here the parents were concerned. It is creating, if I go home and I do not know that my mom or dad would understand me, that creates this, friction and unsafe space, and then I'm not going to talk to my parents. We see, and I am here at Edu-Steps campus, I am housed here. We have a lot of Nigerian students. My advisor said, this is a mini Nigeria. So what we see, most of the Asian students, Nigerian students, from those families, when they come to college, everyone wants to be a doctor. The second in line, nurse, okay, then engineer, then lawyer. That's what it is. It is good. It's keeping the bar high. It is good, but you cannot put everyone in the same mold.
Yeah.
And that's where parents must understand that this is a land of opportunity. You can grow in everywhere you go. You just need to have a passion. I understand one piece of it as a parent that, okay, I would not say go spend $200,000 on a degree where you cannot even make like $25,000 a month. That piece, you need to educate the student. Okay? Just support them, listen to them, and support their decision. When they come to home, that needs to be the safe place.
So, and I'll kind of go off script a little bit here. So, as a parent, then what are some ways that, and how old are you don't want to answer?
I have kids of all the ages. My younger one is 6 years old. My older one is 21.
Oh, wow. So what are some, how does that conversation go? So let's say a parent is here or a parent is watching. What does that conversation look like to say, hey, listen, I want you to have high standards, but at the same time, maybe a doctor isn't it. Maybe you could be a technician of some kind or something like that. How does that conversation go?
So I have the experience with my recent client. She just graduated from the University of Houston. And we had several, and I'm also under the influence of my community.
Yeah.
Doctor is the thing. Okay, you have to try. The idea behind it was she was a really good academically strong student, and then all the AP courses and everything. So I did want to let her know, and that's how she grew up knowing, okay, I'm going to be a doctor, I'm going to be a doctor. After the COVID hit, she's like, I'm not going to be a doctor.
Wow.
So I'm like, okay, well, let's just say whatever you want to pick one field and finish it, and everything is important. So at that time, she picked the communication major, and then she went there. But then she liked it herself because her background was in science and math courses. So finally, she landed on the dentistry. That's what I'm going to do. But I know that it can be very, very stressful because these majors they are competitive.
Mm.
So I tell her that you give it your best shot, but that's not the end of the way. You will find, you will do something, but you know. So time to time I do check in with her to see how things are going with the aspect of coaching her to help her see, to not just live in today, but because at this stage of your life, think of it what you'll be doing next semester or 2 years from now, so you can position yourself.
So for those who follow us and even those who don't, in the being, knowing, doing process, one of the things that we talk about between being, knowing, doing, and the knowing and doing aspect is actually developing your academia skills. And so the thing is, when you have an idea of what you want to become in mind, you also have to look at what are things within that career cluster. They call them career clusters. So let's say, for example, you're going in the medical field. There's a cluster of other aspects that are tied to that. So whether it's dentistry, whether it's anesthesiology, whether it's neurology, there's so many other things that are tied to that you can say, hey, look, since I'm studying these courses anyway, these courses are going to put me in that career cluster. I think that's where the informal mentorship is key. Trying to get around and get in those spaces and build those relationships with those people who are doing the same thing.
Hey LYS fam, it's Olay. Just wanted to take a quick break to let you know that even though the cost of college can be daunting, the LYS Scholarship Guide ebook can assist you in realizing your dreams. You can identify and apply for scholarships using the information, advice, and resources in our comprehensive guide. Also, we've provided a template for a successful scholarship essay to help you stand out from the crowd. Don't allow student loan debt to control you. Get your copy of the LYS Scholarship Guide ebook right away to take charge of your destiny. Simply go to lys.com/parents to get your copy today. Now let's get back to that fire conversation.
So then that way you could take shadow opportunities, intern opportunities, and just even sometimes out to coffee to be like, hey, you even like your job? You know, there's some people who make a lot of money who don't like what they do, you know? And so yeah, we appreciate you sharing kind of what you do personally. So we'll go to kind of to our next question is, what are some current initiatives that school districts have in place, and particularly HISD, A-Leaf, because that's the area we're serving, to help prepare students for post-high school success? What are some things that you guys are currently working on?
So we're working closely with ISDs to kind of help, especially post-COVID. We have seen a lot of students that, fell back a little bit on their academic skills. So a couple of things we're doing. There's a Texas Bridge program that the students can do while they're in the high school, and they get when they get to college from the TSI, the testing requirement that we have. We have also developed some courses that are college prep courses that if you take it, you are exempt from taking the TSI. So you can, based on that, if you have a deal there, you get exemption. So it kind of put them ahead of the curve. And for some of the students, test anxiety is a big thing. They may know everything, but it's just, So that kind of helped them a little bit there. And they get to college, and if they take the placement test, that is TSI, I mentioned, we have created some new courses. So there's no more developmental, but they are called core requisites. So for English college level and for net college level, there is a support course that comes with it if you need a little bit. This support course that prepares you for this college level. So it is taught by the same teacher, same everything, is just added. And we have seen a lot of success. In the high school, we have also, 2 years ago, our board of trustees, they have approved some 45 district-wide admission advisors. We have embedded them in high school, and they are helping the students with onboarding the staff, because that could be another area.
Wow. Absolutely. I think that figuring out kind of what's next, a lot of people think it's just a straight line. Okay, here, I'm graduating, I go straight to college. And, one of the things that we've done is we've tried to boil it down to the 6 things that you can do when you graduate from high school. So when you graduate from high school, there's only 6 real things you can do. You go to community college or trade school, go to a 4-year college, you can start a business, you can get a job, you can go ahead and start working, just go ahead and start working. And the last thing to do is stay at home on your mom's couch, right? So we
Join the Army.
join the Army, go to the military as well. So you go to the military as well. So anything you do is going to fall into one of those categories. And so the thing is, finding the best fit for you is key. Once you find the best fit, then you start choosing those pathways that can reduce your student loan debt, get you working faster, get you making money faster, because it's important, right? And sometimes we can kind of lose our spunk, our drive, when we're not quickly engaged in purposeful, meaningful work in terms of what we're doing. So,
Oh, you're still there? Well, thank you so much for listening to the LYS podcast.